The Backrooms, Halloween Contest 2021, Tricks and Treats Aplenty. Object number 5, Candy. A disheveled man approaches the desk. His hair is greasy, skin is unwashed, smeared with particles of dried sugar from a long day of work in the Bntg candy mines. On the other side of the desk is a human-shaped woman with red hair and a business casual outfit. The man begins to speak. Hey, listen, I need to ask you something. Of course, that's what I'm here for, answering questions. Can I, would I be able to, negotiate a day off next week? It's Halloween and my daughter really wants to go trick-or-treating in 11. They're having this big fall festival and the woman pauses for a few seconds, calculating the profit margins. We're not monsters. You're free to go at any time, but taking a day off at such short notice and on one of our most commercially important holidays will have consequences. If you take the 31st off, we will be forced to increase your debt by 120 cents. 120? But that alone will take me weeks to pay off. Come on, boss, it's just one day. That number isn't going to change, but the choice is ultimately up to you. Damn it! Okay, I'll work on Halloween. Very good. I think that's likely the best choice for you. Keep up the good work, and you'll be out of debt in no time. Yeah, whatever. New Bntg product. Halloween season is coming up, and we know that everyone is excited to trick or treat in level 11. However, we know that it can be difficult for many people to find candy to give out, especially since some brands have been recently discontinued. This is why we have decided to come to your rescue by mass producing bags of individually wrapped candies. You can get them in any B&TG market in Spawn Town or Trader's Keep at only 5 credits for a 1-pound bag. Object number 5. Locations obtained from BNTG traders. The image shown here is a 1-pound bag of Object 5. Description: Object 5 is the collective designation of the various types of candies that were manufactured by the BNTG in October of 2021. Inquiries into how the BNTG came into the possession of these large amounts of candy have been fruitless, but it has been speculated that they have found a level where the candy is a plentiful natural resource. The candy comes individually wrapped inside of 1-pound bags and features a variety of different types, many of which bear similarities to those manufactured by common front rooms candy companies, such as Hershey and Wrigley. Eating the different types of candy causes minor supernatural effects in the eater, which last a couple of hours. Common types of candy. Name: Silver tongues. Description: Small tongue-shaped pieces of candy which feel indistinguishable from metal. Melts when put into the user's mouth, but not when heated up by any other mechanism. Effects: Makes the user slightly more persuasive than they would be otherwise. Name: Biting bullets. Description: Bullet-shaped pieces of chocolate in a silver-colored foil wrapper. Very difficult to chew. Effects: Users temporarily lose any sense of touch. It does not, however, have any effect on the user's pain receptors. Name: Guns. Description: These are small, metal, non-functional guns. They do not seem to be traditionally edible, but will, nonetheless, cause an effect when swallowed whole. It is not suggested that wanderers eat these, as they are considered to be a choking hazard. Effects: The user's hand temporarily turns into a working gun. This gun will only fire chocolate bullets, which, due to them being made out of chocolate, do not cause very much harm on impact. These chocolate bullets do not share Object 5's irregular properties. Name: Flat Stanleys. Description: Flat pieces of sugary paper cut in the shape of a person. When placed on the user's tongue, they will quickly dissolve. Effects: Causes the user and all items on their person to temporarily become two-dimensional. When this effect takes hold, the user will be immediately transposed onto the nearest flat surface. Name: Hazardous Waste. Description: Extremely sour hard candies styled in the shape of a cylindrical hazardous waste container. Users have reported dangerous digestive problems after consuming them. Effects: The user's saliva becomes extremely corrosive. This property unfortunately affects the mouth as well and can cause severe damage to their teeth and gums after heavy use. Name: Brainiacs. Description: Pink, sugary wafer candies, printed with sayings such as 2 plus 2 equals 4, the capital of Turkey is Ankara, and E equals mc squared. Description: users report feeling significantly smarter in the time after eating, though testing has shown no noticeable change in intelligence. Name: almond mints. Description: O-shaped mints which look similar to Front Room's Lifesavers. Users have reported that they taste like a combination of mint and almond. Effects: the user's breath smells very clean afterwards. No other effects. The 11 Eagle: Confessions of a 4-Year Candy Addict by Anonymous. When the sweets first came to 11 back in 2020, I was just a simple wanderer basking in the post-scarcity paradise of Spawn Town. I did a little work on the side for the Meggies, but aside from that, I just lived, made some friends, life was good. Come round October, and a couple friends of mine started getting real bored, so we figured we'd take part in the Halloween celebrations. Now, I was never really the Halloweener type in my youth, but I figured this would be a good opportunity to have the fun I'd missed out on when I was a kid. You dig? So, I got on this crusty old overcoat filled with holes, the type you'd see on Bum or a drifter, and a gray featureless mask so I could dress up like a dollar. And I tricked and I treated, frolicking to and fro with my friends, getting candy from the nice wanderers that resided in the level. It was a good time all around. After that, me and my friends headed home, drank a little liquor, and began gorging ourselves on that night's earning. And that's how it started, you know? Like, you realize, hey, this shit tastes pretty good. And pretty soon you get addicted. And people say, oh, I'm addicted to coffee or I'm addicted to junk food. But you haven't really been an addict until you'll do anything to get another bite. You'll backstab your friends, even kill a man if you have to. Luckily, the 11 effect stopped me from going quite that far. I usually just kept to stealing. A little trick that me and some friends figured out is if you pop a Stanley, you can walk into someone's house through the cracks in the wall, and then when it's time to escape, pop another one. It can be dangerous, though, too, because if you're still in the crack, you get straight squished. Happened to a friend of mine. He popped a Stanley, and by the time he got out, the eyes were waiting for him. So he just waited in the crack for them to pass on. I was his getaway man, you dig? And I wasn't on the eye's list yet, so I was able to wait there safely, and I saw it all go down. He was still waiting for the eyes to go away when it wore off, and I don't think I'll ever get that sound out of my head. Not his screams, those got cut off pretty quickly, but the horrible squelching sound that his body made as his bones and organs were crushed in the crack. Shit, I've done some bad stuff when I was doped up on candy. Just trying to scrounge together enough Bntg credit to score another bag. It was enough to keep the eyes on me for a while, too. I got around them by hiding it out in the keep for a couple years. When I went back to the keep, it was much easier than I expected to find another plug. They seek out your need like a beacon. I saw him in the alley after I'd been there for not 15 minutes, spitting out a big glob of blood and pus, the tell of a waster. I personally don't touch waste. Some of the people I've met swear by it, but I just feel like my teeth are gonna fall out every time I use it. I'd have to be real deep to become a waster, and if it ever comes to that, just take me out back. Anyway, I correctly figured the fellow was a waster. He was probably also a dealer of some sort, or at the very least, knew where to find one. What better way to fund a habit than by dealing? My time in the keep was probably one of my lowest points. I'd spend 8 hours a day just staring at the wall. Every once in a while, I'd pop another bullet and just back it in. Didn't get a lot of visitors back then. After all, I didn't know too many people in the keep, and those who did come, I mostly just ignored, struck by the dull haze until my supply got low. Then I'd hit up Sid the Scrivener to get me another bag. This continued until I reached my last credit. Things are much harder to steal in the keep. More eyes on you. Lowercase e, of course. The eyes not catching me there was about the only good thing. But, nevertheless, the human side of things was much harder to get around. What with the Bntg and all that, if they even are human. Anyway, when I ran out of credits, I figured it was time to head back to 11. I wasn't sure what I was going to do there, but it was better than getting in the negatives with the big Bntg. That was certainly for sure. At that point, I figured I'd go clean. And I did, on and off. Though that really only ever lasted until my next opportunity to relapse, so I just stuck to doing odd jobs here and there to pay for my habit. An article for the Eagle here, a job for the Meggies there, And that's about where I am. I wish I could quit, and I've heard rumors of people working on a way to get people off the stuff, but these efforts always get snuffed out, nothing confirmed. But I know it's the Bntg who's keeping it from getting out. If people were able to get off candy so easy, they lose money, and nothing else mattered more to them than that. See, at this point, I know the Bntg are still at the bottom of the whole candy operation. After all, who else could keep the candy supply moving than them? I figure they're just selling wholesale to a few trusted sources at the bottom and letting it trickle down to the common folk. Big Bntg publicly disavowed the stuff after it became public that it was addictive, but I think they knew the whole time. Those scumbags were always trying to get as much money as possible. I figure they made it addictive on purpose, or at the very least, made a conscious decision to capitalize on it after they found out. Whatever the case is, they've certainly kept the candy economy up and running by any means possible.